Hi, I am Dan Vaida, film and stage actor from Transylvania, Romania, who moved to North America to pursue my career in the field. The topic of today is totally different from the business of acting or the show business or the craft of acting, because usually that's what I talk about on my channel here on YouTube. The topic of today is about cultural differences. And there are few big events in human life. I would say there are three: being born, getting married, and dying. They are the most, the major events in anybody's life. So I picked one that it surprises me the most, and it's about funerals, and not because I want to be morbid or because I want to bring sadness to you guys. It's because from my personal experience, I saw the biggest difference between how we do things in Romania, at least. I don't know about the rest of Europe, but I think it's what we do in Romania. I think it's similar to what happens in Eastern Europe in general when it comes to funerals, and how things are approached in that case in North America. And the difference, it's quite big. Now, first of all, in Eastern Europe, at least in Romania, it's very rare for the bodies to be cremated. Most of Romanians are Orthodox, and in Orthodoxy it's considered a really bad or inappropriate, almost like a heresy, to burn your body after the soul left the body, because they consider, I don't know exactly, they consider, I think, that the body is like a temple of your soul and doesn't belong to you anyways. It's something along those lines. Anyways, it's not allowed to burn the body. In the Orthodox religion, which is highly prevalent in Romania, I don't know the exact percentage. I think it's somewhere around 90% of Romanian population being Orthodox. Anyways, 80%, 90%, so it's a high percentage. Versus in North America, I think, I don't know, but I think it's a very high percentage when people are actually cremating their bodies. That's the norm from what I see. Even when you go here in North America and you see a cemetery, you just see a small stone, like says in loving memory of so and so, but you don't actually, it's not like a place where they have a body in the ground, because they cremate it. So that's number one difference when it comes to funerals. Another difference is that I think in Romania, funerals happen maybe the second or third day after somebody died. Here it takes a longer time, sometimes a month, between when somebody dies and when when they have the funeral for the person. So that's another difference. And another one is that in Romania, in many cases, especially in the countryside, they bring the body to, after it was treated at the morgue. So the body's at the morgue, and then it's being sent home, and they bring the body home in the person's house, and people gather, and family and friends and neighbors and all that. Again, that's mostly in the countryside. They gather, and then they, let's say, cherish the memory of that person they've lost. And this is the juicy thing, let's say. Funerals in Romania are very emotional. Very emotional. We are, And that will surprise some of you because I know we sound, when we speak English, we sound Russian, and people think we are Slavic because we are placed in a, like, let's say, Slavic peninsula, but we are Latin. Romanian, it's a romantic language, it's a Latin language like French, Portuguese, Spanish, Italian. So we are Latin, we are emotional. When a funeral happens, people are emotional. They cry, they sob, they weep. They have Kleenex on them and they clean their faces, their nose is running. They are really involved in what's happening right there because it doesn't matter where the funeral takes place, if it's in somebody's yard or at the funeral home. People, this casket is open in the middle. People are gathered around it. And even sometimes you'll hear the babushkas gossiping and saying, "Oh, see that dead body that looks so beautiful. How it's resting there and all that." So the babushkas will talk about this and they will gossip and they will comment on the color of the person's clothing, and then they should have gone with that color, not that color, and then the shoes were too cheap and or maybe too expensive, and the food was this or the food was that. So that's also a lot of gossip behind the scenes back home. A lot of that. But the point is, and it's always with a priest, which I haven't seen here. I've been to only 2 funerals, but I haven't seen a priest in North America. And I don't know, maybe they do have a priest. But in those particular cases where I witnessed a funeral, there's no priest. In Romania, there's at least one priest. At least one priest, the body in the middle, casket open, everybody staring at that person's face, eyes closed, and sometimes they have a coin on their eyes. But I think that's an ancient custom, and I don't think it's that frequent now in Romania. They used to take pictures sometimes. It's really morbid. And but again, they are very, very, very emotional, and more than that. That again, that mostly happens in the countryside, in villages. They will pretty much almost hire a person, a babushka, who can kind of improvise and create poetry about the dead person and on a go as they go, and they will cry and say lines and lyrics kind of made up by her about that person's life, and then the family and how they related to the family, to their line of work, to the community, to whatever things they were involved in during their lifetime. Versus here in North America, the funerals, they don't have any of that, and the funerals are, to me, they kind of look like business meetings. Everybody's formal, quiet, very decent, very civilized, very reserved, very proper, and they might weep a little bit, but not too much. And then after the funeral, they say, "Okay, thank you very much. Can you please step into the next room? We'll have some snacks for you, and thank you for coming." And it's super, super proper. And I don't know. For me as an actor, I'm more drawn to raw emotion and passion and intensity, and I find that it's more connecting, more of a connecting experience, and that's my take on this huge difference between those two cultures. We are definitely Latin, and it shows in pretty much everything we do. If you don't believe me, just drive in Bucharest during rush hour for, let's say, 3 blocks. That's all you need to drive for, and then you'll see what I'm talking about. Maybe I should make another video on the traffic and or how people behave in traffic in different places. So yeah, that's what I've lived, my limited experience with funerals. Of course, I've been to many funerals in Romania, only 2 funerals here, but also what I saw in movies and at the news and all that, and that's what I witnessed, and I'm bringing this here to you, so you also have a bit of a take on those 2 things. Let me know what you think. Please leave a comment in the section below. Like, share the video. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed. It's free of any cost, and that's a way to support me. And also press the bell button next to the subscribe button and choose all, so you can get notified when I post a video. All your videos will be sent to your emails. All my videos will be sent to your email, and then you'll get notified every single time I'm posting something. Thank you for watching. See you next time.